Hey guys, what's up? This is Dingo Crikey here with another commentary video. This time going to be discussing whether or not we will see the return of deceased Decepticon characters in Transformers 5. So, a while back I did a video discussing whether or not I thought deceased Autobot characters would be returning for Transformers 5, and after I did that video I got a lot of feedback of people asking what were my thoughts on certain deceased Decepticon characters coming back for the next film, or just the idea in general of them bringing back Decepticons. And unfortunately it's only now that I'm getting to this topic, because for the longest time I just figured it really wasn't worth doing, but now I figured I would discuss it anyways. The reason I didn't want to do this originally is because I don't think there really is that much of a chance that they would bring back Decepticon characters in Transformers 5. Just throwing it out there, I don't really think it's going to happen. I mean, it already feels like we're asking for a lot for certain Autobots to return, and I still think that is a possibility because so many people have been begging for them to come back. Now, Michael Bay just might get a kick out of, I don't know, showing their corpses briefly in Transformers 5 just to prove, nope, they're dead. But a lot of them weren't confirmed to have been killed off. I mean, some people have theories about characters like Sideswipe, but really nothing proof positive. So Autobots is asking a lot, but we could see it happen. Whether it's Autobots reconstructing ones who were killed off, such as Leadfoot, whether they find Ratchet's spark somewhere on lockdown ship and reconstruct him a new body, or maybe characters like Sideswipe just show up again, and it's said that, you know, they evaded being killed off. As far as the Decepticons, I just don't think any of them are significant enough characters for them to bring back. Now you're probably thinking Starscream. Well, Starscream is pretty significant, of course. I mean, he's Starscream, and he had a fairly good role in the films, but I think that's important to remember. He did already have a lot of time for a Transformers character in these films. Not in the first one, but in the next two he did have a good amount of lines. We got his personality expressed. So I don't really know if they would want to bring him back. He also hasn't been super big in Transformers media, at least the main stuff. He's still around in the comics, but he wasn't in Age of Extinction. So far he isn't in Robots in Disguise, and there haven't been as many Starscream figures as there usually are. So if anyone, Starscream has the highest chances of being brought back. Would it make that much sense for Galvatron to do it though? I don't know, he always seems to fall for Starscream's ploy to get back in the Decepticon ranks. Starscream is kind of tough, so we might want him back for that. I don't know. Because Galvatron is going to need a new army of Decepticons somehow. Decepticons, Predacons, whatever you want to call them. He's going to need a new army. Now, he could just magically find Decepticons on Earth, but that probably isn't going to happen. I'm thinking he might find the Predacons, especially if the Dinobots are in TF5. This would be a really good move. Would also kind of parallel what's happening in Robots in Disguise with a lot of the Decepticons being beast-like. Him bringing back deceased Decepticons, we kind of have seen them try to recreate other characters, such as Two-Headed Shockwave, but I don't think it's Shockwave anymore. You know what I mean? It's not like Galvatron, who like had his brain implanted from Megatron. You know, that makes sense. At least in these movies, it makes sense. A whole lot doesn't make sense in them. But I don't see them going that far for other Decepticon characters. I mean, Soundwave is a very iconic character in Transformers history, but was he really significant enough in the films for them to spend the time to bring back and then kill him off again, as we would assume would happen to him, being he's a Decepticon eventually? I don't think so. If they're going back to movie 1 for certain characters like Bone Crusher and Blackout, I mean, really, I don't think they would spend time bringing them back. Like I said, Shockwave, we already seen them kind of do that with Two Heads, and clearly it wasn't Shockwave. Also, I could see them wanting to spend more time on some more significant Decepticon characters if they're going to give them personalities. If not, they could just make them Viacons or random beast-like Predacons. They could always just do that. But if they're going to give them more personalities to kind of counteract the Autobots, I don't think they're going to go digging up guys like Soundwave and Shockwave to do that. Maybe they'll bring back Starscream, but I think he has the highest chances. I mean, there is always that chance, though, that they could just not really use the Decepticons again for Transformers 5. Now, initially that does sound crazy because we have Galvatron there, he's a Decepticon, but for all we know, he could be kind of a standalone villain. And maybe the Quintessons, or who we are assuming are the Quintessons, will be the creators and will be the main villains. And we'll have their minions like Lockdown kind of filling in the roles that the Decepticons used to fill. So they could always do that. Galvatron could use an army of Predacons, might not even use Decepticons, because if he isn't going to rebuild them somehow, where's he going to get them? It's possible some could come from outer space. Maybe if the Elite Guard come to Earth, Decepticons follow them, and then inevitably they team up with Galvatron. You know, they could always do that. But I think even something like that is more likely than them bringing back deceased Decepticon characters. They could still do it. It is a possibility. But in my opinion, it isn't very probable. Personally, I don't really want to see them do it either. One of my major reasons is that I wasn't really attached to any of the Decepticons in the film. And that's totally my own opinion. Maybe some of you guys loved Starscream in the film and were so disappointed with seeing him get killed off. That's totally cool. For me personally, I just didn't care about them enough. I would rather see them just bring in new characters, because none of the Decepticons are most likely going to be very developed. Just give us some new fresh designs, characters, things like that, so we get cool figures out of it. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Unless they want to do something really cool with new Decepticons, still I would prefer new ones, like I said, as opposed to them bringing some of them back. Anyways, that's my thoughts on it. I would like them to not recycle the same Decepticons, just move on to newer stuff, and I highly doubt they will. You guys can leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm sure some of you guys disagree with me on this. You know, maybe there is some information now that we will see guys like Starscream returning. I don't know, leave it in the comment section below, along with any topic suggestions you have pertaining to Transformers 5. You know, we don't get a whole lot of news on the movie, but there's lots of stuff to discuss, and whenever news does come out, it's going to be big stuff, so let me know if you find anything. And please source it too if you can. If someone's just saying something like, oh, Optimus is gonna die, I read it somewhere, and Rodimus is going to replace him, I'm probably not going to do a video on it. But any topic suggestions on legit news or just predictions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, along with other Transformers related topics. And that's about all I have to say for this video. Keep up with the channel for more news and discussion on Transformers 5. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and have a good one, guys.